It's gonna go down, and we'll see. We're either going down or the building's going down. You know what I mean?
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
The wait is over. It's finally here. I mean, it was already here, but now it's here the way that you always wanted it to be. The album is now being reissued on vinyl 20 years later. Is this a massive weight off your shoulders? Did it bug you for a long time? Like, have you been looking forward to this moment? Because it is, as we're recording it, today's the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Today is the day. Yeah. No, I'm totally stoked because it has bugged me for 20-some years. And because when we first went with the record company, there's a couple of record companies wanting to, us to do something with them. But most of them at that time were just like, we're just going to put it at Digipack. And I'm like, I want it on vinyl. And the record label we went with said they were going to put it on vinyl. Well, they never put it on vinyl. And then when I kept pushing them, they ended up folding. And so it never got on vinyl. And so, yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I'm happy. It sounds great. And, you know, the reviews are coming back and people are digging it. So it's cool.
Yeah. Now, Patrick, help me understand. You're at the release day, and of all these days, today's the day they make you talk to people like me. Like what, like besides having to talk to annoying people like myself, what does the release day look like for you? Like, are you doing anything special? I know tomorrow is the official release party, but
yeah, so I'm
for you.
The daylight for me is just kind of checking emails and kind of any loose ends, buttoning them up, and then making some posts. But it's actually getting really ready for tomorrow, the show, because it's also not only our release show, it's going to be the first show in this configuration, this lineup, and so that's pretty intense. And so, you know, we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's gonna go down, and we'll see. We're either going down or the building's going down. You know what I mean? We're gonna give it all that we have, and hopefully, you know, people get into it and stuff. And if not, they're just gonna be overwhelmed by the intensity of the music. In either way, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
They're not going to walk away bored. Let's just say that they're going to walk away with they got something out of like these guys are out of their minds, or that was totally killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome. Now, I mean, it kind of sparks the question that so this album was first released 20 years ago. Now it's properly released, let's call it. But, you know, if we're honest, we could put songs, any of the songs on this album, in a playlist or on a compilation of psychedelic music by The Gun or Sir Lord Baltimore or, you know, some Blue Cheer and MC5, and it would fit right in. What is it with why do we still today even go back to those guys to define this is what was cool? And that has never really changed, you know, like... You know, the music itself goes in and out of popularity, and there's waves of bands coming out. But at the end of the day, no one has ever listened to MC5 and said like, "Oh, that's not cool," or Sir Lord Baltimore, right?
No, I think a lot of it had to do because it was new and fresh, and there was like, there wasn't something. You know, they were amplifying the guitars. They were taking the blues and just that culture at the time. You know, I think it was because it was so fresh and they weren't really grabbing from like too much that it was just kind of what was inside of them. And so, and I think that's when you do that, you know, that's going to last a long time and stuff. And so, I think a lot of it had to do with because the freshness of it and you know, they did it. They were there first, and so now you know a lot of the bands are trying to repeat. And we totally wear our influences on the sleeve, but we hope, of course, you know, we're trying to add something, you know, not just copycat, but to see the influences. I have no qualms with saying, yeah, you can hear the Stooges or the MC5, and that's great. But I think what we try to do is add that freshness that they had at that time, that excitement with the stuff that we do, with the stuff I write. I mean,
and do you also, let's forget about looking back, but looking, well, maybe not forward, but around you right now? Like, you guys have obviously been doing this for quite some time. Everybody involved is very experienced. There's right now a wave going on the last few years. There's been all these new, very fuzzy, whether it's stoner or doom or whatever, if there's even a difference, psychedelic bands coming out and great new albums being released. Do you keep a finger on the pulse of what's happening with new bands in the scene?
I do and I don't. I mean, there's so many now. Like back, when we were first starting out, there was a handful of what you would call the stoner rock bands, and over the last 20 years, they splintered into all these little sub niches of the stoner sounds. You know what I mean? You got cult doom, you got doom, you got classic doom, you know what I mean? You got stoner metal, you got stoner rock. There's all these. So it's like, I don't try to keep up on all that. There's some bands that jump out and kind of grab my attention. Like there's a band from Scotland called Halo Noose, and they remind me of like that fuzzy early Monster Magnet meets Loop, or or like Spaceman 3. So that's a band that I'm always pushing it every chance I can get, because they're really exciting. And then there's a band called the Static Vision. They've been around for a while, but they have that same raw fury as the Stooges and MC5. And just I haven't personally been able to see a show because they haven't been out here my way, where I was able to watch them, but like watching them on video, those guys put on a killer show, and you know what I mean? So like, those are some of the bands really jump out, but there's just so many to try to keep up. I wouldn't be able to focus on what I do.
Traditionally, over the decades, that sound was always associated with the southwest of the States. But as you call, like, this band from Scotland, then there's a ton of stoner bands coming out of Italy all of a sudden. And it really has gone global, if you will. Yeah. That's pretty cool to see too.
And that is cool. That's cool to see that, like, there's such a diversity now. I mean, you got the band like Elder, who, man, they got a killer gig opening up for Tool coming up. I mean, that's going to do a lot for the scene. You know what I mean? Bring some, and it's not like we want people to come in and start changing it, but it's cool that we'll be able to play hopefully to like bigger audiences and stuff.
Right. Now, to bring it back to you guys, because what has always been interesting, and on this particular release is a perfect example of that, where you said earlier, well, we're clearly influenced, but we don't want to be a copycat. We don't want to repeat. And on this album as well, or this release as well, there is a lot of variety still in the music as well. And there's the shorter songs that would be a punch in your face, and then you guys also, do obviously much longer songs. You're not afraid to record an 11-minute stoner track. When you're like, you said that this is the first gig that's going to be with the new lineup. And when you are working with this new group of people and you're thinking about new material and writing new songs, do you like go into that with a battle plan, or are there really no lines in the sand and you kind of go where you go?
In some ways, I always have a plan. I'm the type of guy that writes lots of lists and lots of like steps to get there. That's just how I work and stuff. Otherwise, because like I was telling you off the camera before, I'm pretty scatterbrained, and so I need for me to function, I need to have some kind of list and stuff. But like as far as writing, there's no plan in that. I kind of just get influenced or motivated to write something. I might be thinking of a certain song, or I might be thinking of something maybe angry or whatever, and so like I start writing. So that's never really like, I never sit there and go, I want to write an 11-minute song, or this is going to be a short song. The songs kind of evolve out of the riff that I come up with. I'm like, that needs to be longer. We need to kind of just, lay that down for a while and kind of get into it and then switch or something. And then some songs are like, that's got to be a short song. It's just got to come in, do what we have to do, and then get out real quick. So, as far as that with the other people, that really, I don't really, it sounds kind of funny, but I don't think about that and I write the songs and then I present them. And, the thing with Volume is, we've had a lot of different members and stuff over the years. And, but like I've been the sole songwriter. And so, like I said, I don't sit there and go, okay, this guy kind of this style. I kind of say, these are the songs. Let's fit what you do in within these parameters, kind of.
Even after all this time, because I mean, you're not 18 working on your first album. Do you still
no, I'm not.
surprise yourself, or do others still surprise you with what they then do with what you present to them?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, the drummer will come up with some cool like little transition, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, that's perfect. That works well. Or like the guitarist will come up with some. Yeah, all the time. If you're not being surprised, and and things aren't new and fresh, it's like why do it and stuff. That's part of the excitement. Writing new songs, coming up with new ideas, getting them out. The process for me, that's like some of the biggest rewards. Is just the process and the excitement, thinking about, okay, I got this new song I'm writing, and all the other stuff. A lot of, in some ways, with the record coming out or with the live show, is like icing on the cake. But the process, it's in some ways that's a reward in itself. So.
Talking about icing on cake, which makes me think about desserts and sweets and all that kind of good stuff, and being surprised by funky stuff. We have to talk about your passion for stout beer, because I love my beers. I love craft breweries, and you seem to be very much excited about the craziest stouts that are out there.
Whatever. Go ahead.
No, I was wondering, like, is there one, like, because you've shared on your socials sometimes about like some really funky ones. Is there anything recent that has really like surprised you in a positive way that really blew you away?
Well, there's this one that I've had the regular, but they Dragon's Milk, and it's pretty powerful. It's 11.9%. Those are always nice and fun to drink and stuff. You just gotta, they'll creep up on you real fast. But they had the special edition. It was like their anniversary or something. I saw that it was gold. I forget what it was called. I only had it one time. It was 2 weeks ago. I was visiting some family and went to the store and saw it, and I grabbed it. That was good. But I always try to grab new stuff and see, not drink the same thing all the time and stuff. Just, it's kind of exciting, and that's the whole thing. It's like trying something new, checking it out. Seeing sometimes they're good. Not all craft beers for me are good. Some excel and some are just okay. But I like trying different ones. I'm always willing to let's try it. But I don't. And it sounds snobbish, but I don't drink anything less than a brown ale. Like, I won't even try it. There's no reason. It just doesn't do anything for me. Every time it tastes like it tastes like dirty water from the bottom of a garbage can. It's just it's not even worth drinking. I'd rather drink, like, if somebody offers, it says like, thanks man, but I'd rather drink tea or soda before I drink anything light.
I mean, hey, it is the season now for stouts. Like, all the brews are going to come out with some kind of winter stout or themed stuff and what have you. I'm sure you've been overrun by pumpkin stouts and whatever, and we're going to have Christmassy stouts pretty soon.
My favorite go-to though are the dark coffee ones.
Okay,
I like I don't drink coffee. I don't even particularly like the taste of coffee, but mixed with beer, it's always good. I really like it. So
yeah. So hey, when do we see the volume beer?
I don't know. When somebody wants to come to me and say, "Hey, we'll make you a beer," I'm all for it, as long as it's
There
going
you
to be a
go.
heavy dark beer, right?
Hey, I mean, there's plenty of brewers in your neighborhood, so let's the ask is out there now. Breweries
Yeah,
of California, apply, and let's get the volume beer that kicks as hard as your new record.
I
Um,
know.
hey, Patrick, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. I mean, it's super exciting that, you know, music is being presented the way it is, and it kind of makes it feel like a brand new album now. Even though this music has been out for 2 decades, but it's cool to see that the fans will finally be able to get that nice, big, beautiful blue vinyl in their hands
Oh yeah.
and play it on 11. So I wish you all the fun tomorrow in your release party and show, and I hope a lot of that will be captured so that we can, you know, those of us that unable to be in California tomorrow, that we can all see it on socials afterwards.
Yeah. I'm hopefully get some good footage and start posting away, and hopefully, some people that have been wanting to see us live can kind of, get a taste of what it would be like. So yeah,
Exactly,
man, I
exactly.
appreciate you having me on here. I totally dig that. That's cool. And
Awesome, man.
uh,
Well, hey, I keep my fingers crossed for more shows to be announced, and hopefully we get to see you on a stage very, very soon. Thank you so much for your time. I really do
thank
appreciate it, and have
you.
a lot of fun tomorrow.
Okay, man, cool. You take care.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.